Greetings. Today in class we'll be having guest doctors and psychologists from Fort England. You are more than welcome to ask questions and any queries you have about psychologists. The psychologists that are coming through is Dr. Sabaweli and Dr. Al. Enjoy.
Why are you happy to be here? Yes. Hi. I'd like to become a psychologist, right? But I really don't know what it really means to be one. So could you just clarify what it means to be a psychologist?
So a psychologist is someone who basically takes theory that they've learned throughout their degrees and they analyze and look at human behavior, human interaction, and their mental processes and see where each thing fits in. So it also looks at how people relate to the environment that they're in. Psychologists also do research. So you can do research in your field of interest, so adolescents, substance abuse, adults, relationships, things like that. And they also work on making good changes if someone comes with a problem. So good changes, behavioral changes to them. A psychologist can also collaborate with social workers, the community, or practice privately. So it's quite a wide range.
Yes. I just wanted to know, what are the requirements and how will I get trained if I actually choose psychology as a career?
To answer your question, I'll start by explaining the requirements that you need to be a registered psychologist in South Africa and how psychologists are really trained.
Just to add, before she continues to explain, South Africa has this board, Health Professionals Council of South Africa, HPCSA, and once you're registered with this body, after you're at your final exam, it's a legal requirement for you to be registered with this body, and basically they have all the guidelines in which you have to abide to and practice by, and they also give you have a membership fees, and you just it's kind of like a check that you need.
So what you really need in order to do psychology first that you're required to have is a 3-year degree of where you majored in psychology. So psychology has to be your major. In order for you to get your training when you get to honors. Honors, it's where you pick your field of interest, where you really are interested in. Take for instance clinical psychology, and you can then major in clinical psychology, and then you receive your training through seminars and lectures. And then you get to masters, where you get practical and hands-on, where you get where you get to attend and have what is the where you get patients, but you are monitored in the way that you
by your
treat them.
supervisor.
By your supervisor, of course. Once you and then you get your internship of a year, and then after that you completed your internship and it's been approved, you write your national examination of professional board for psychology, which is also approved by
PCSA.
At Fort England, the interns received a caseload of 7 outpatients, and they also have a supervisor who they report to about these programs that they conduct.
Also, just to add, the Fort England program, internship program, does include community service, and training does begin during your honors degree and is carried on throughout your masters and your year of internship and community service. So, yes.
I read somewhere that there's different professional categories in psychology. I only know of clinical and counseling. What are the others, and are they all practiced in South Africa?
Okay. So you get clinical psychology. Clinical psychology looks at diagnosing mental illnesses. illnesses,
Yeah.
and counseling psychology, because I think these two are the most popular or most well-known fields. Counseling looks at the overall well-being of a person, right? So clinical would be more hospital or places such as Fort England where I work, where we're diagnosing people. And then, so it's those two. Then we get educational psychology, which would be, you could work in schools and do things like aptitude tests, aptitude training. You get industrial psychology, which is in a corporation or a company, you work with people. So HR, known as HR. Locally, you get research psychology, which you do a lot of research and just give out knowledge. And you get psychometry, in which you could be a psychometrist.
Oh, and we have to clarify that UCT at the moment is the only university in South Africa that offers neuropsychology as a specialization. Forensic psychology is still under review though with the HPCSA, so we don't have it yet.
Okay. I heard you mention all these, but like I didn't hear health psychology in anything you mentioned.
Oh, okay. Health psychology is a branch of psychology that focuses on mental, emotional, and social factors that affect a person's physical well-being. And in South Africa, this field of psychology is focused on other fields such as clinical psychology. So you can't get health psychology on its own. So it's like infused with other categories that are found within the psychology branch. Yeah. For instance, in my opinion, in South England, they had the forensic part, but they don't have forensic psychology that you can actually go to university and study that. When you get there, it's infused with other fields of psychology in order to get that forensic part. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yes.
No, we're good, thank you.
Thank you.
Psychologists play an important role in promoting healthy behavior to improve patients' lives. From the visits at Fort England, we realized that psychologists don't only do counseling, but they also take part in occupational therapy. This is when the patients get into stuff such as craft making, carpenting, greening, and tennis. This becomes beneficial in two ways. Firstly, they learn a skill, and secondly, their minds are not preoccupied with the fact that they are dealing with a problem. There are also other means of making money, such as working at the tuck shop or washing cars on Fridays for all the people in the facility. Fort England also has a new award on the premises that has wellness programs such as anger management, sex offenders, and substance abuse. Your quality of life is improved because you look forward to doing something with your day. It is therapeutic in that if you can't verbally express what is happening in your mind, you can always deal with it by keeping busy and blowing off some steam.